Today's video is going to be all about the Melt Cosmetics Gemini 2 palette. This is a review, swatches. I did a demo of this eye look. This is my first time ever trying anything from Melt Cosmetics, so I cannot compare it to other palettes by them, but I've heard their formula is hit or miss, which is why I put off trying the brand for so long. But I was really attracted to this color story, so I really wanted to get this palette. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I upload 4 videos a week, although I'm pretty sure it's 5 or 6 this week. I also did a review on the Rare Beauty Tinted Moisturizer and the new Practk Rose Dimension palette, so I will link those in the cards and in the description box, and let's get started. Alrighty, so this palette is $58. I did buy it on the Melt Cosmetics website. This packaging is beautiful, but it should now be available at Sephora as well. So beautiful. I love the design. I like thin palettes like this. A+ on packaging. And here is the color story. So it is a combination of rosy pinks and 3 greens down here. Now, I will talk about the formula kind of later on. First, let's just go ahead and jump into some swatches. So now there are other palettes out there that kind of have this color story of pinks and greens. I actually don't own any. So that's why I really wanted to try this one. And again, like I said, I've really wanted to try Melt Cosmetics. I've just been hesitant because of their history with hit or miss formulas. But they are known for intense pigmentation, which is exciting to me because I love intense eyeshadow. So I am definitely all about that. All right, here are the swatches. All these mattes here and the 3 greens there. So there's only 2 shimmers, this one and this one. This one is more of a true metallic, whereas this one, the green, is a bit more sparkly. So, I mean, they definitely swatch well, and I've done 2 different looks with this palette. And overall, I do really like it. I do have some thoughts, which I will get into, but first, let me just tell you my thoughts on the color story. The only thing I wish is that they had taken out one of these lighter mattes, because I feel like look how similar they are. And I would have liked to see one more metallic. And I do feel like Melt Cosmetics is known for their mattes, but I would have liked to see like a more pink metallic shade. I would have really enjoyed that. But the rest of the color selection is really, really nice. Let's jump into the eye demo, and then I'll give you some more thoughts after that. Let's get into the look. So I want to start with this shade right here in the crease. It is called Sweetheart. And I already have on the MAC Painterly Paint Pot, and I did set that with a little bit of a cream colored eyeshadow. So yes, I've definitely noticed that these mattes are super pigmented, which is what I have heard about Melt Cosmetics. That is definitely the reputation that they have, is high pigment. That is for sure. And from using this palette, I can see that that is definitely the case. All right, so just kind of blending this. I do feel like these blend pretty easily though for high pigment colors. And for outer corner, let's start with Gemellas, I think. This shade right there. I'm just gonna put a little bit of that one. And blend that out. And then I'll just go down the row. So then I want to use this one called Lovesick, and then LX Queen. Just kind of slowly deepening this outer corner. Yeah, I mean, these mattes are really, really pigmented. Okay. Now, for the shimmers, let me get my spray as usual. Now, yeah, so there's only 2 shimmers in this palette. This one, Schmood, and then Mateo, this green shimmer. I want to put the one called Schmood, which is like a reddish burgundy. I'm just gonna put that here. It's really nice, actually. I'm not even spraying my brush for this one. The other one, Mateo, that one is a bit more sparkly, and I think that one is better being sprayed. But, okay. So I'm just gonna take the other side of this brush and so that one I want to put here. They have a good mirror on their palette. It's funny because on day-to-day, I don't use the mirrors in palettes. I use my vanity mirror, but if I'm traveling or obviously filming YouTube, then I do use the mirrors. I want to intensify that just a little bit more. So you can tell this green has like a dark base to it. The greens in this palette are very smoky. I definitely enjoy that about this, is that it's very, very pigmented. And it's got depth. I like that. Okay, I mean, you can see the sparkle. So you can see that this one is more metallic, whereas the green sparkly one is more sparkly. But you can see that dark base to it there. So I'm just gonna spray. I've noticed when you spray this one, you get more of the sparkle versus the dark base. I mean, I definitely like this. I think it looks really good. So I'm going back to that first pink shade I used, Sweetheart. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna put a little bit more of the mattes in the outer corner. I'll finish the rest of my makeup and I'll be back. Alrighty, and I will list the rest of the makeup I'm wearing in the description box. The only other thing I did is I put this matte green on the lower lash line, and then I just put a bit of my highlighter on the inner corner. Now, I think that overall, the quality is really good on this palette. The mattes are so smooth. I had no trouble blending them. I love how deep these are here. I love the depth in this palette. I think the mattes are fantastic, really, really smooth, easy to blend. I'm really impressed with the mattes, like a lot. And this metallic here is really pretty. So that's the one I put there. Like I said, that one's more of a true metallic, whereas the green has sparkle in it. And as you can see, it does have a bit of a dark base to it. So it looks a bit darker on the eye than it does in the pan. I don't mind. I think it is beautiful. Overall, I think the formula is great. I really just wish they had taken one of these out and just done like a more, like a brighter pink, like a rosy metallic. I think that would have been so perfect for this color story. But I do think it's fun that these have 2 different finishes. And I mean, the packaging is beautiful, and I love like the flower imprint on the eyeshadows. I know Melt has done that with some of their other palettes. Really, I'm really impressed. One thing that I didn't mention that I do think is a negative that doesn't have to do with this palette, but just a bit of a pet peeve of mine. I did pay $10 for 2 days shipping on the Melt Cosmetics website. And I totally realized that right now shipping is super delayed and there's a bunch of issues related to that. It took 6 days to get to me, and I just wish that if they were offering 2 day shipping, they would actually do it. Otherwise, if you can't, I totally understand, but I would just prefer to be charged regular shipping when it's not coming in 2 days. I don't really like paying for a service I'm not getting. That's my only pet peeve with the ordering. Other than that, it was fine, but you can buy this at Sephora now, which honestly, I would have done, but I wanted to do a review video on it. Otherwise, I would have just waited till the VIB sale, but yeah. So overall, I do think this is beautiful. However, I looked through my collection, and like I said, other brands have done these like pink and green color stories. I don't actually own one, and I have a bunch of palettes. However, this palette, the Dose of Colors Blushing Berries, I think a lot of these are similar to, let me see if I can open it, the pink side of the palette. Let's see if we can see. I think there are similarities there. Let me just swatch these because I think that it's definitely possible. And Dose of Colors matte formula, out of all of the brands I own, I actually think that the mattes from Melt, at least in this palette, is actually really similar to this Dose of Colors, where it's really pigmented, it's really smooth. It can be a bit powdery. Yeah, wow. Okay, so these four here are from Dose of Colors, or these, and they're really similar actually. This peachy shade to this one. Wow, okay, so if you have this Dose of Colors palette and you've got some green eyeshadows, honestly, I think you're good to go. Wow, yeah, these are very, very similar. That is interesting. Okay, so I found a little bit of a dupe for half the palette. So if you have the Blushing Berries, honestly, it's really, really similar to the pink part of the palette. So yeah, and I have plenty of green eyeshadow in my collection. I just really wanted to try Melt Cosmetics, and I felt like out of all the palettes they've ever released, this color story definitely intrigued me the most because I love pinks and greens. And the formula is an A+. Honestly, I think it's great. I just wish that they had taken out one of these lighter shades and just done like a more pink berry metallic for me. Then this would have been the perfect palette, absolutely. But the formula is an A+, particularly the mattes are beautiful. I would have maybe liked to see even a bit more sparkle in that green metallic shade, honestly, because I don't mind a lot of sparkle. I could have used a bit more in this shade, but yeah, overall, I really like this palette. It could be just a bit better as far as the color selection, but I think the formula is great, super easy to work with. But if you've got that Blushing Berries palette, throw in some green eyeshadows and you are good to go. So yeah, let us know. Did you guys get this, or do you have other Melt palettes, or are you getting at the VIB sale, which is happening right now? So yeah, that is it for this video. Let us know what you think. Like I said, I uploaded a video on the Practk Top palette and the Rare Beauty Tinted Moisturizer this week. Check those out. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.